What's going on, guys? Liam here, and it's time to wrap up round 17 of the 2023 NRL season. We're getting close now, man. Just about every week, another team drops pretty much out of contention for the top 8, and that top 8's starting to take shape. There's a couple teams pushing their way in, so it's going to be exciting. So we'll go through all the games quickly, and then we'll go have a quick look at the ladder and have a look how it's shaping up, who could possibly make it, who could drop out, all that sort of crazy stuff. But first we'll just go through each game really quickly so we can see who won and lost and stuff like that. Wars touch up the Dragons. That was relatively expected, I guess. And Eels, god damn, 48-20. Damn, I think it was 42-4 at half time. Absolute hiding from Parramatta. Panthers get it done over the Knights. Storm, looks like a thumping, but it was a strange game. I can't wait to talk about that one. It's a little bit odd. Talk about the upset of the round. Titans without Tino. Get it done. Beat the Broncos. That's Suncorp. God damn. Cowboys, best win of their season in my opinion. Absolutely smoking the Bunnies. They looked incredible. And the Raiders just edging out the Roosters. They were coming home strong. Doggies, Sharkies and Tigers all with the bye, so they'll get a couple points. So this is pretty updated other than the byes, but I can fix that up for you. So the Broncos losing, Panthers take top spot again, back on top, getting a dub even with all their players out, absolutely insane. And so Broncos fall a spot, Raiders up into 4th, but Sharkies will jump up into 4th here. Once they get their bye points, they'll go up to 22 and they have a better for and against than the what? Oh, hang on. Yeah, they've got a better for and against than the Wars. Raiders up to 5th, but again, they'll drop down 1 spot. Parramatta up to 6th, but again, they'll jump down 1 spot as well. And poor old Bunnies, free falling. 1 and 4, god damn, from the last 4. I thought they were 2 and 3, but anyway, pretty crazy, man. The Trell effect. Remember this happened last year. It was earlier in the year, obviously. They had Latrell out for a little bit. Their attack is so reliant on Latrell. And I'll talk about that more in the game. And Titans, well, they stay steady in 9th, and then Cowboys, the big movers, everyone else down. So it's really looking like these. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the Dolphins could, but the Roosters look out of sync. Everyone else looks like this. These teams look like they're on the downtrend, and these 10 look like they're sort of on the uptrend. So I was getting asked a lot about the Cowboys on TikTok and stuff like that. Everyone's like, they're making the 8. So we'll have a little look-see here. A lot of people asked whether I thought they would make the 8. Now, after their win, they're definitely playing good enough footy to win more games than they lose. They've looked incredible, sort of thing. And I will go more into their form in a minute when I talk about them. But this was the game for me where I was sort of like, like if they can get this one, now they're back, sort of thing. I wasn't going to do it too prematurely, but let's just have a little quick look at their run home. They've got the Tigers next week, very winnable. They've got Manly next week, very winnable. Parramatta, that's going to be tough. They're hot, man. They haven't come close to losing a game in 7 or 8 weeks with buys in there too. And I think their average winning margin at the moment something like 24 points. Like, I can't remember their number, but they've scored 176 points in their last 6 games and only conceded 60, which is absolutely insane. Titans winnable, but they just beat the Broncos. Broncos, that's going to be tough. Sharks, that'll be tough. Dolphins could be tough, and then Penrith. So there's some games here they'll get. They'll probably lose a couple, and there's a few that they should get. So definitely very winnable games there. So they're definitely hot, but the things that might be hard for them is other than the Bunnies, but the Bunnies are getting Latrell back very soon, so I dare say they're going to win a bunch of games. None of these teams are really on a downtrend. Quite often when a team shoots up and pushes their way into the 8, there's a team or two that downtrending in the top 8 as well. There's not really that this year, so they have to win essentially 2 more games than everyone here in their last, last 9 games sort of thing. So it is, even though it is only 2 points, it is a little harder than what people think. You know what I mean? To win 2 more games than the Bunnies, to win 2 more games than the Eels, sort of thing, stuff like that. So But they can definitely do it. They're playing good enough footy. The two most vulnerable teams I see here, even though they just got the dubs, probably the Raiders and probably the Bunnies. But again, like I said, the Bunnies are going to get a bunch of players back. If you look at the Raiders run home, they've got Titans winnable, but you know what I mean? They're definitely not, wouldn't say it's in the bag. Dragons should thump them, then they get a bye. Then they've got the Wars in New Zealand, very tough game. Then they've got the Knights, should get that. Then they've got the Titans, should get that. Storm at home, maybe. Then they've got the Doggies, then they've got the Broncos, then they've got the Sharks. So I could see them sort of roughly winning the same amount of games. So, man, they're going to have to be very good. They're going to have to be very good, the Cowboys. And then if we look at the Bunnies run home, they've got Wars next week. That's going to be, that's going to be tough. Is this? Yeah, this is 20. And then they've got the Doggies. They should win that. Then a bye. Then Broncos. That'll be tough. Tigers, they'll get the dub. Sharkies, I think they'll probably get that one too. Knights, Dragons, they'll get that. Knights, they'll get that. And then they've got another bye. And then they've got the Roosters. So it's going to be... You see what I'm saying? It's they're going to have to be very good for the rest of the year, for sure. It's it could be tough for them to get in, not because they're not playing good enough footy, it's only 2 points, but they're going to have to win a lot of games. So fingers crossed they can. I had Cowboys top 4 this year, man. I want you to play finals this year, man. But that's just my honest opinion. I think they're playing good enough footy to win enough games, but they've just sort of got to hope that, maybe one of these teams has a little bit of a hiccup. But most of these top-out teams, like I said, other than the Rabbitohs, are winning much more games than they're losing lately. So, so look at the Eels 5-0, Sharks 3-2, Raiders 3-2, Storm 1-4. Well, Broncos have lost 2 of the last 5, but yeah, you get my drift. But it's even, man, and they're just going to want to get this for and against up as well. But that is one thing they definitely have over the Raiders here with -69. Raiders, man, you need to get a bigger win. You need a 13-plus win. I think you're the only team that doesn't have a 13-plus win this year. So Raiders, man, Raiders, come on. All right, let's talk about it. Dragons, Ben Hunt situation. I thought Ben Hunt, came on and played with great effort and all that sort of stuff. He was really good. But yeah, Dragon, they're just off. It's a bit hard to watch, and I really feel sorry for their fans out of all this. I really do. Sloan, Jesus, he's quick, man. Benny Hunt was good, but the rest of the team, there was just no one to really talk about. Sewer had a great opening sort of stint, but yeah, there's just not much going on there. And let's not bag the Dragons too much. They've had enough bagging lately, so let's just talk about how good the Warriors were. God damn those Warriors. Nickel Coolstar. Wow, absolute freak, man. 200 metres, 48 post contact, 1 line break, 3 line break assists, 2 try assists. What the hell, man? Dallin, 4 tries, 277 metres, 34 post contact, 5 line breaks, and a try assist. Just to go along with his 4 tries, he set one up too. That is ridiculous, man. Jesus Christ, they're so good, man. Oh, Montoya was pretty damn good too. What do you get? Well, quite a night for Montoya. Damn, only 130 metres and 2 line breaks. Terrible night, Montoya. God damn. Far out. But no, they're so damn good, man. I'm loving everything they're doing. I'm loving it. Niokora got put on report, so he might be in a little bit of trouble, but I'm loving this team, and I love that Dylan Walker's back in there. Every team needs a Dylan Walker coming off the bench. Just brings that energy, changes the game. He's absolutely brilliant. So let's have a quick look at the team stats. And it was an absolute domination. 55% of the ball, 72% completion rate. Could definitely be better there. 1,700 metres ran for the Warriors, but they restricted the Dragons to 1,200 metres. God damn, that's absolutely insane. 10 line breaks for the Wars. 32 tackle breaks, average set distance of 45 metres. That's brilliant. Kick return metres, absolutely smoked them, 214. Yeah, this was a bit of a masterclass, and the Warriors are here, man. The Warriors are here. Missed tackles, 27, not too bad. You obviously want a little bit lower, but that's fine. And 12 errors, they obviously want to get that down a little bit as well. So definitely not the perfect game or anything like that, but it's pretty damn close. And, the Wars are flying. How good. All right, let's go on to this one. This was crazy. So this was 42-4 at halftime. Parramatta were blitzing them, absolutely blitzing them. Now, this was at the sunny coast and a home game for the Dolphins, and god damn, they got cooked early. They kept running this play that got Will Petticini a couple tries and Clint as well. They ran it 3 times in a row and scored. They ran the same play like 3 times within 5 minutes and scored a try every single time they ran it. It was just Hopgood in and out. Hopgood to Cartwright. Cartwright goes in and then flicks out. Penasini goes through. It was ridiculous, man. And yeah, I actually when I saw that, I was like, oh, I love that. Like a lot of teams, they'll run a play and then not do it again. Like if they scored, they'll try and do something else. I'm like, just keep doing it until they can stop it. And they literally went bang, did the play. Dolphins kicked the ball off. They ran up, did it again, scored a try, and then they kicked the ball off and did it again and scored a try. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And it was absolute masterclass. Clearly put the cue in the rack in the second half. You could really tell that sort of thing. But yeah, it was bloody masterclass from them. Hammer was great backing up, but I can't really talk. Val was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed. He had a good battle with Sivo. They were sort of smacking each other around a bit, and it was good. It was good to watch, sort of thing. And big contact, 2 big boys banging into each other. It was awesome, but not too much. Oh bloody, who was this guy again? Braden McGrady. He scored a try in the first 4 minutes, and someone on TikTok actually goes, I got him for a double, and then he had a chance to score a second try a minute later, which would have paid out a fortune for his first NRL game, and he tried a crazy flick pass when he was pretty much over the line and bombed the try, and from that minute on, it was just all Parramatta. It was absolutely crazy, but it's good to see Sullivan back. Kafusi was awful. Like, he was so bad, it wasn't funny. Absolutely terrible. No one else to really talk up on the Dolphins. They were pretty poor. Sarko had a couple of okay runs. Clint Gutherson, goddamn, it blows my mind that people think he's shit. Like, listen to two tries, 188 metres, 31 post contact, 2 line breaks, 2 line break assists, a try assist, 2 tackle breaks. He sucks, man. He sucks. Seavos didn't get a try. Bombed a lot of people's multis this round. Unfortunately, I didn't have him in. Actually, I had him in, but it was Will Penasini or Sevo, so I hit my multi, which was good. But Will Penasini was brilliant too. What did he get? He had 2 tries as well. 161 metres, 30 post contact, 2 line breaks, try assist, 3 tackle busts. Yeah. He was great. Simonson seems to come to his own as well. RC was, didn't notice him too much on the field. Moses, decent. Not his best game, but definitely not his worst either. Good to see RCG back. I actually liked this move from Parramatta too. They put Ogden in to start and put Junior Paul on the bench, obviously to, Junior just played State of Origin sort of thing. And but I actually liked it because he's a big boy. He held his own, and then Paulo came on fresh, and he just ran amok. He looks Junior when he's. I always love Junior's second stint when he comes in because against Taiwan defenders, he's close to untacklable. Same with Payne Haas, and that's why I was a little bit critical of Kevy last year and stuff. Like he'd play Payne until he fell apart. I'm like, get him off, and then you can play him big in the second if you want, but get him to come on and run against tired guys. You can't tackle Payne or Junior when they're tired. It really works. I actually thought Dave was good. He ran some good lines. Hopgood is just close to buy of the year for me. He's been brilliant. Liked Madison coming off the bench. I actually liked Offra Ngowi. I was a little bit worried about him coming into Parramatta just because it's sort of like Tapau going to the Broncos. He doesn't have to be the man. Just go on, run straight, tackle hard, don't offload, don't do dumb penalties, and you'll be just fine. And I thought he did that, and it was really good to see. So good signs for Parramatta, man. They're torching teams at the moment. They, like I said earlier, they've nearly scored 200 points in the last 5 games, and they've conceded 52 points. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, man. So yeah, let's have a quick look at the team stats. This should be interesting. Para 59% of the ball, extra 10 minutes with the ball pretty much. Completed at 81%, pretty good, and Dolphins terrible completions. That's the lowest I've seen them complete this year. all runs. Parramatta just keep cracking this 2,000 mark. It's hard to do. It's actually really hard to do. And Parramatta have been damn close every single week. It's actually, they're winning through the middle, man, big time. And their post-contact, almost a quarter of that. It's crazy. 12 line breaks for Para to 4 for the Dolphins. Average set distance, nearly 60 metres. That means they're getting pretty much 10 metres every run, which is pretty crazy when you think you're set 10 metres apart and you run into each other. That's absolutely nuts. Dolphins, I did thought they were pretty good, quick play the balls. Parramatta, plenty of offloads. So to offload 13 times and completed 81% is great, and that's what they did last year. They had the highest offload team with the best completion rate, or within the top 3 completion rate all year, sort of thing, and that's why they were successful last year. What else we got? 26 missed tackles to 24, pretty even, and 9 errors from Para. Not like I said, you'd love it a little lower, but if you're under 10, you're good. You're under 10, you're good, sort of thing. So not many penalties. It's a good game of footy if you're a Para fan, that's for damn sure. But yeah, they clearly put the queue in the rack. That was the crazy thing. Most of those offloads that they were doing were in the first half. They shut up shop for that second half. They obviously didn't want to risk injuries, and they gave Paulo rest. They gave RCG rests and stuff like that. So real solid win for Para. Good on you, Para. And Dolphins, thank God they're starting to lose, so I don't have to get that dolphin tattoo. Thank God. All right, this was an interesting one. So Panthers Knights. Panthers B team pretty much. Obviously, all the Origin stars out. A must win for Newcastle, and they just got drowned and suffocated by Penrith. To me, the only team when they have stars out that they still look like Penrith. Like when Broncos, like for example, I was watching Broncos play the Warriors a few weeks ago when they had their stars out for Origin, and they got the dub and it was good, but they looked like a completely different team. Panthers to me just still look like the Panthers. It's really bizarre. Just all their structures, everything stays exactly the same, and I think they're the only team that just, if you're squinting, you couldn't tell that Cleary wasn't playing. It was Cogger, and you know what I mean. You couldn't. Yeah, it's pretty damn wild. It's pretty damn wild. Dylan Edwards was absolutely brilliant. What did he go for? 202 metres, 98 kick return, 44 post contact, line break assist. I actually thought Tago had one of the better games I've seen him play. He was, Jesus Christ, 258 running metres, 92 post contact without a line break. That means they're all tough metres. So he's run for 258 metres without a line break. 92 post contact. That means he ran 92 metres in a game with blokes hanging off him. That's ridiculous. Some blokes don't run 92 metres in a game. He's done it with dudes hanging off him. That is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Peachy, best game I've seen him play. This Tommy Jenkins guy had a pretty good run. Moses Leota, Jesus Christ, he was good. He was on a rampage in his first. I'm taking him over anyone. Hey, he's an absolute freak. Fisher Harris solid. Sorensen solid. Hoskins was all right. Eisenhuth did his job. Sonny Luke was good when he came in. Spencer and Lindsay, great. What do you do? But as far as the Knights go, a bit disappointing. Ponga was decent. What did he go for? Ponga was he got a try. He was probably, well, there you go. Kalen Ponga ran for 98 metres in the whole game. Tago ran for 98 metres with blokes hanging off him. It's ridiculous, man. It's so insane. I liked Greg Marju's game. 222 metres, 67 post contact, pretty damn solid. But yeah, it was. I don't know. I think that might be where are they sitting on the ladder? I think that their goose might be cooked. They're down in 15th now, 14th now. Yeah, it's you can just about run the red line through the Knights now, unfortunately. That experiment at the start of the year, I actually think they played pretty good footy over the last month and a bit, but that experiment put Caleb Ponga at 6, I think cost them their season. It really did. There's 8 games there. They ended up losing him for bunches of games because of concussions. It was just a disaster. Hate to say I told you so, but did a video saying that this is the stupidest move the Knights have ever done, and it's going to cost them possibly a spot in the 8, possibly Kalen Ponga's health. and all that sort of stuff. And this is one of those ones I hate that I'm wrong. I hate that I'm wrong here. I hate that I'm right, sorry. I hate that I'm right here, but it really did. They're too far behind, and ever since then, even though they're, they've gone 1 from 4. When did they win games? They won a handful of games not long ago, right? But yeah, it's I think they've got the Doggies next week. We'll see how they go there. But yeah, you can. I've got the cap off the red pen, and I'm so close to running it through them. It's not funny. It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. But yeah, good win for the Panthers there. I mean, let's have a look at these stats, see where it all went wrong. 57% possession, that'll do it. 33 minutes in time in possession. God damn. Oh, so this was the crazy thing about this game. Panthers had the first of the NRL this year where they had a perfect half, so not a single error. And then they didn't make their first error until about 20 minutes into the second half. Ridiculous. And then they obviously only went on to make another 3 for the rest of the game. So I said where it all went wrong. Here's where it all went wrong. You can't win a game like this. It's impossible. Penrith cracking that 2,000 metre mark. Brilliant. Defence wasn't as solid as it normally is. Knight still ran for 1,500 metres. Only 5 line breaks. Plenty of tackle breaks for both teams. God damn. And but look at this ruck speed. It's gold. It's gold. Absolute gold. 13 offloads for the Knights. That's plenty. What else we got? Effective tackle way down. Knights were busting a lot of tackles. But yeah, it was a little too late. Too late sort of thing. But yeah, missed tackles. Like I said, they're 45. Knights had 59. God damn, that's nuts. And 14 errors for the Knights. Not good enough. So we'll have to wait and see how they go, but not looking good for the Knights. But I'm rooting for you. All right, this is a bit of an odd one. This was a really strange game. The first few sets I was like, damn. I love Ruben Garrick at fullback. Yeah, he's great. He's so good, man. Yeah, this was a bit of a, how'd it go? So that's right. Hamoli scored a try. Olakawad, and I thought, geez, they're on here. They were just, their first contact was great, all that stuff, and I was sitting there going, Jesus. And then it was, what was the halftime score? So it was 10-6, that's right. And then it was sort of a little bit of an arm wrestle in the second half, and then it was just bang, 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 and Manly were just disgustingly bad in the second half. Like the second half of the second half, they were awful. I don't know what happened, but it just all fell apart. Nick Meaney was pretty average, to be fair. Warbrick was good. I'm loving his kick return meters. I wasn't feeling what Remy was doing either. Remus Smith, sorry. Olam, good run back. Justin Olam, he had a big game, right? Justin Olam, yeah, 216 metres, 19 runs, 72 post-contact, a line break assist. Yeah, there are good numbers. Xavier Coates, man, I've been saying this all year. And I never got it. I was watching, I think it was Bloke in the Bar and a couple other podcasts. And I remember them saying when he got picked for Origin, like, yeah, he's not having a great year. I reckon this is his best year he's ever had. I don't know what people are talking about. Like, he's been absolutely killing it. His kick returns are better. His hands are better in the air. He's running the ball back with venom. His defensive reads are better. I've been high on Xavier Coates all year, and I haven't been his whole career. I'm doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing. When he came into the league, everyone's like, he's the next Greg Inglis, and I'm like, he's not. No, he's not. He's trash. No, he wasn't trash, but not even half of what Greg Inglis was my honest opinion of him. But I genuinely think he's come really good this year, and especially in the last 6 or odd weeks. But so what did he end up with? He ended up with 2 tries, 208 metres, 51 post contact, 2 line breaks, 8 tackle busts. Brilliant. Peasant was stinking it up too. Some of the passes just on the wing were just so bad. So was Hughes. They were both pretty bad, to be honest. Welsh solid. Harry Grant had a couple uncharacteristic errors. All this stuff happened in that sort of first half. There was just errors galore. Not great. Nelson was pretty dangerous on the edge. Melbourne were not great. Melbourne were clinical for 20 minutes, and that was enough to get it done. It was sort of my wrap of that sort of game. But we'll have a look at some of the Sea Eagles players. Oh my God, this dude here, Vega, beast. What did he end up with? He was, Jesus Christ, he was good. He's not in here. I haven't got him in the stats thing. Oh, he's not in the stats. I'd love to see what they were, but yeah, he was absolutely brilliant, that Vega. He was, where did they put him? Oh, here we go, he's on the bottom. 1 sec. Well, he only ran for 106 metres? 58 post-contact, so half his metres were post-contact. It's ridiculous. And 6 tackle breaks. Jeez. So 6 tackle breaks in 12 runs. So every second run he took, he had a tackle break. But yeah, pretty crazy. But he just looked damaging. Hey, every time he took a run. Now there's one I wanted to talk about. There he is. But yeah, I actually thought their outside backs defended pretty well. They all looked pretty good. Garrick was great there. But Schuster, man. They said it in the telecast just as I was thinking it. Is Schuster on the field? Like, he was just catching the ball and just pass. Like, he did... Like, he was awful, man. Like, 6 runs in a game. Like, you're massive. And you got a mismatch on size against your opponent. Like, 6 total runs... where else is his numbers? So no line breaks, 1 line break assist. So that's cool. No try assists. No line engaged runs. What else we got? Nothing. No hit ups. That's serious. Wow. No dummy half runs. No dummy half meters. No one-on-one steals. So 51 passes, 59 assists. Where was it? Oh, here we go. Sorry. Tackle efficiency, 73%. 19 tackles, 7 missed. What the hell? What else was there? There was another one. But yeah, it's just an empty stat sheet with 7 missed tackles. It was pathetic, man. I cannot believe this dude is out here trying to get 1.2 million. Like, I think he's way overpriced at 800k or whatever he's on. It's I've been saying it for 2 years. I'm like, I don't see what these guys are talking about in this kid. Like, last week when they played Parramatta, Madison's filling in at 6. You know, it's not his job. He's just doing a job because the 6 is missing, and he was better than, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. He's an edge. He's a lock. Just a lazy, poor effort. And I was just so disappointed. Like, and they had plenty of opportunities. He just would catch the ball, pretend to run, and then pass it. Or there was one where everyone talks about his no-look passes. There was just a time when they were shifting to the right, and he had the ball, and it wasn't an overlap, but they were like each Manly player was sort of on the outside shoulder of their opposition. So literally all he had to do was just catch and pass. But of course he does his no-look pass that he does. The pass is shit. And then, I can't remember who, it might have been, it wasn't Garrick. One of the outside backs had to sort of catch it over his shoulder, which just allowed the line to shift, and then the half overlap was just gone. I'm like, you could have just passed it, bro. Like, why do you have to try and be fancy? He did a kick as well where he tried a banana kick, bro. You're not Joey Johns. Like, just stop it, man. Like, I don't get what he's trying to do. Like, get the basics right before you start doing that stuff. Like, Joey Johns wasn't even doing that stuff in his first few years. Just cut it out, man. It's awful. Paseka, ever since I've labelled him having the best second stint in the game, has now have the worst second stint in the game. He was awful, and it all just fell apart. Simply, he had a pretty good first stint. He was terrible. Aaron Woods was pretty busy the first half, but yeah, it was I won't say it. Kepi actually came on and had a pretty good stint too, but yeah, it was just it was an odd game. It was actually relatively close for most of it, but yeah, just really strange. And Melbourne just, like I said, they played pretty bad for 60 minutes, but they kept their noses in front, and then just went try at the end and made it a comfortable win in the end. So good old Melbourne, and they're flying high now, man. They're flying high now. up into third. Nice positive for and against. Not too far. Oh, geez, if Broncos lost by a little bit more, they would have dropped down to third. God damn. That's pretty nuts. All right, so we'll have a look at the team stats real quick. Like I said, they had plenty. Like I said, they were on top for a lot of this game, but then they were sort of never on top of they were on top field position wise, all this sort of stuff, but they were just never in front. It was bizarre. They had 51% of the ball, same time in possession, completed roughly the same percentage, ran for roughly the same meters, post contact roughly the same, line breaks, 6-4, pretty similar. Tackle breaks, they won that 40-30. Average set distance, both 41. You see what I mean? It was quite. They were winning the ruck, like I said. They were getting to their front, playing the ball quickly. Manly had more offloads. It was really, really weird game and just a really poor last 20 minutes. Sort of thing. They both tackled at 87%. They had less missed tackles than Melbourne. It was just a weird stat line for the score. Or you look at that stat line and you go, oh yeah, man, comfortable win for Melbourne there. Nah, it's sort of it was, but it wasn't. It was really, really bizarre. But anyway, what do? Let's get on to the upset of the round. Broncos losing to the Titans, ruining my perfect round. I was perfect up until here. It was bloody. I was perfect up until today, and then I went 1 from 3 today. I was like, God damn it. No Tino. And how did this game start? I can't remember. Yeah, they did get the first drop. That's right. Okay, so no score for such a long time. I turned on the TV, sitting there. I was like, yeah, nice sunny day. Broncos love scoring tries. Titans like leaking tries. Titans like scoring tries too. I'm like, this is going to be some fireworks. And it was like 0-0 until the 28th minute. And then I had David Fafita as a try scorer, so I won a few bucks on you. Thank you, my brother, my shout. They got this try right at the end of half time. And I felt like Broncos were on top for most of the first half, but not looking great, if that makes sense. But Titans were looking pretty damn average. And just with Tino out, you just sort of felt like Broncos will get, like they'll click and they'll win this one. And to Titans' credit, man, restricting Broncos to 12 points, pretty impressive, pretty damn impressive. So really, really good. Let's have a look at plays. So where this sort of went wrong for the Broncos, in my opinion, was, Corey Oates had a good game. He had a blinder. But I've said this about Broncos. If you've been watching me for a minute, I said, look, some of the leading error rates in the league sort of thing. And if we just go through to their errors real quick, you can get away with this from time to time. But, Reece Walsh, 5 errors, Corey Oates, 2 errors, and Selwyn Cobbo, 1 error. Selwyn Cobbo, 2 handling errors. So you got 9 errors between your back 3. It's too many, man. You don't want 9 errors in a game, let alone from your back guys. They're meant to be your safe ones. You know what I'm saying? So I've been saying that this might be their Achilles heel. Reece Walsh gave 2 penalties as well and is in a bit of hot water for giving the ref a bit of a spray. So he might be having a little stint on the sideline. Yeah, not good. That's not good. Now, Reece, besides those errors, he had... But this is what I'm saying. A good performance can't... his game wasn't that great, actually. I had Corey Oates. Corey Oates actually had a pretty damn good game. 21 carries, 221 metres, 65 post-contact. That's brilliant, man. He was 6 tackle breaks. He was outstanding. Just keeps doing it, man. He's just so hard to tackle. But no, he was great. He was absolutely great. But it's that hard thing. Jesse Arthurs is sitting on the sideline. That dude doesn't make errors. Do you risk a little bit of X factor, getting rid of a little bit of X factor for that? At least one set of safe hands out the back. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough one. Selwyn Cobbo, I don't know what's up with him, but Jesus Christ, I don't know if his jersey was a little tight this game. But he looks like he's been just eating KFC. You could see his gut shaking when he was running, and he got absolutely cooked by Pereira, cooked 3 times. And he just... Pereira is probably just quicker than him, but he was like Pereira was in fast forward. Like, he got absolutely smoked 3 times, and really poor defensive reads too from Selwyn. Yeah, like I said, he can be rocks or diamonds, but Jesus Christ, there was I'll put it on my TikTok, but there was a shot where Pereira burned him, and he's trying to chase him, and his running technique looks bad. You could just see his gut shaking as he ran. And his face like he was trying. It was not a good look, man. I was like, Jesus, Selwyn, get off the KFC, bro. Like, have you got your hip pointer injury? Did you go to the gym, or did you just eat KFC? Because, bro, you looked out of shape. He's got to watch that. There's a few similar players to him, obviously the Inglis's and stuff like that. And there was a few players that, they're such tremendous athletes. And when you grow up like that, because I'm not as good an athlete as them, but you can eat whatever you want. You can eat Macca's 6 times a day, and you're still strong, you're lean, you can beat everyone. You start getting into your 20s, man, that metabolism slows down real quick, and then all of a sudden you're overweight. But yeah, so it was just that shot was just funny. Watched him, his face tried it, his guts shaking and stuff like that. Reynolds, bit of a stinker to start the game, kicked the ball dead a couple of times. Ezra Mann, solid, but a really good defense actually. Flegler had a good first stint. Billy Walters, best game I've seen him play. Knows his spot might be on the line with old Benny Hunt coming in. Payne Haas's numbers are actually way down. So, Moe, I said this last time these guys played, so I was hyping up Tino versus Payne Haas, who's going to come out on top, and then Moe was the best game in that one, and Moe got him again, man. So let's have a little look. Moe Fawaka, so 21 runs, 210 metres, so literally running for 10 metres every single set. 76 post contact, absolutely brilliant. And then we go Payne Haas. Not his numbers aren't bad, but I'm just just comparing the two guys who are backing up for an Origin sort of thing. Payne Haas had 14 runs for 132 metres and 47 post contact. So, bit of a down game for Payne, but look, man, he's been so damn good all year. But Moe got him again. Moe. And Ricky, not sold on the bro yet. Paddy, again, maybe just slightly down on what he had been, but I'm not holding against these two guys. Don't think I'm picking on them. They played Origin 4 days ago. They're allowed to have a bad game. Oh, no, Paddy got 150. Paddy the GOAT. Paddy the GOAT. Paddy the GOAT. Can you see that? Paddy 12. You'll get your dub soon, bro. You'll get your dub soon. Yeah, brilliant. He actually got a bit of a rest as well. 51 minutes. And that's when Titans got on top a little bit. Oh, I've got to tell a story too. Oh, I had the premonition. I was like, I don't know why, but I was like, for whatever reason, I was thinking about how the Broncos season fell apart last year. And I was like, yeah, Herbie got injured, tore his pec, and then Carrigan did a hip drop and was out for 5 weeks. Just as I said it to a mate, Herbie goes down. He was fine, but Herbie goes down, and it looked like a pec. Like he was, you know what I mean? He fell funny. They were like checking his pec and stuff like that. And then later in that game, Paddy Carrigan swings around and does a hip drop on Fafita. And I was like, holy, it nearly happened again. Like, if Paddy was real lucky. I actually thought, I don't like the hip drop thing. I'm not saying it was one, but I feel like if Paddy did that at the start of the year when they were blowing hip drops left, right and centre, I think Paddy would have been on the sideline. I'd seen worse ones get suspended, but I'm glad he's not. I didn't think it should be a suspension. I just thought it was lucky in the sense that it happened at the time of the year when they're not just blowing them and next minute you're sitting on the sidelines for 4 weeks. But I was like, Jesus Christ, it nearly happened again. And you could see the game swing when Paddy wasn't there. Jesus Christ, he's a very intricate piece there. We'll just really brushly touch on the Ben Hunt thing coming in this year. I'm a bit on the fence with it. When I put the video up on my TikTok yesterday, everyone's like, oh, they're winning the comp now. So a few things. Adding more superstars doesn't necessarily make your team better. I'll talk about the negatives first and the positives. Look at the Roosters. They just keep adding superstars. They're coming, 15th or 14th or whatever. It doesn't necessarily always work. Do you want to mess with the balance of the team that's been successful all year? I don't know. I think this is working. Billy Walters showed today. I mean, you need to see him more consistently. He was pretty solid. He's pretty handy. Why you would want him? I mean, he's going to come in. He can teach Billy Walters some bits and pieces. Yeah, you do add another star. You add another kicker. You can play him as a 14. And touch wood, if Reynolds does go down, like I'm pretty sure even Broncos fans know if Reynolds goes down, you ain't winning anything. You know what I mean? Yeah, he is such an intricate part to this team. If Reynolds does happen to go down, touch wood, Ben Hunt slots in and you're fine. You're absolutely fine. So that's why I do love the Ben Hunt thing. But if I was the Broncos, I would not be giving up an arm and leg to get him. Just personally, I think this team is just fine. I think they're doing great. I don't think they need to throw. Just like they've barely. How many games have they lost this year? They've won 11 and lost. They've lost 5 games in 18 rounds. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. But if the Dragons want players and money and all this stuff, I'd just be like, nah, cool. Don't worry about it. That's all good, sort of thing. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right. So who else we got? Who else was good for the Titans? We gave a few Broncos players a rap there. Pereira 204 meters. Goddamn, 3 line breaks. They were all on. Pereira was on Selwyn Cobbo's side. So 12 runs. Pereira only had 12 runs, ran for 204 meters. 13 post contact, 3 line breaks. Jesus Christ, 2 tackle breaks. Not bad. He's got wheels, that kid. He's got wheels. Forearm was great. Follow Waker was great. This dude here, Jolliffe, is that how you say his name? Not too bad. Dave Fafita was brilliant, especially probably from like the 30th minute on. He was really good. Actually, I've never been a huge fan of this guy, but he was solid. He put a big shot on Flegler. He was great, and Campbell came on. They need to find a way to utilise this dude better. I see a bit of the cheese in this guy, Aaron Clark. I said this, man. Guys with girls' names are hectic. Don't mess with Aaron Clark, man. He'll knock your head off. But I feel like there's a bit of cheese in him, a bit of a Dylan Walker in him. Just got to find a way to use him better, I think. But I see something in this kid. I do. He's good. All right, let's have a look at the team stats real quick. Titans, 51% of the ball. A couple of minutes extra in possession. Both completed at 80%. Really tight game. Both ran for 1,700 metres. Both roughly 500 post contact. 6 line breaks to 5. Really similar. Tackle breaks 48 to 44. Really similar. Kick return meters almost identical. Like, this was quick. I did feel like they were winning the ruck a little bit, so slightly quicker play of the balls. Broncos won the offloads. Quite a few of them were right at the end of the game because they were losing. But yeah, it was just a bit of a funny one. Now, there was a few tries taken off. Broncos got a few bad calls. They definitely did, but I thought that they were really lucky with the man try. I didn't think they touched the grass. So I've always said, man, a lot of people on my TikTok were like, oh, what about those calls? I'm like, yeah, but you got some bad ones. You got some good ones too. I always feel like it's so close to... My coach always said, man, like, be good enough that a bad call doesn't wreck the game for you. You know what I mean? Be so good that if you get a bad call or a try goes against you, you win anyway. That's the way I sort of always look at it. I'm like, that's what, even when my teams lose, even if I have big bets on and there's a call, I'm like, whatever. I probably got lucky with the call earlier in the game. Who cares? Move on. Plenty of missed tackles from both. Both need to work on that, especially the Titans. 81% tackle efficiency is pretty poor. And again, these errors. I mean, look at that from the Broncos. 11 errors, and what did we say? 9 of them were from their back 3. I mean, Titans not better at all. A few extra penalties for the Broncos too, which is a bit unlucky, but it happens. But Broncos will be just fine. This is going to happen to them from time to time. They're going to drop games. This is what I've just said. With the back 3 that drops the ball a lot, they're going to drop games they probably should win from time to time. And that was sort of my opinion. But a lot of people said, "Oh, can the Broncos win the comp if they get Ben Hunt?" I'm like, well, it doesn't really solve their problem with their back three. And this is the thing. To win the finals, you either have to win 3 or 4 games against top teams, right? In a row. Like, you know what I mean? So your run home literally might be Melbourne, Bunnies, Penrith. Your back three in any of those games can't make 9 errors or whatever. So that's going to be Broncos' issue. A thing they need to get over, sort of thing. Having said that, Broncos, those games where they have big errors, it seems to be against poorer teams. So I don't know if it's just an attitude thing, a concentration thing, where they're like, we got this, sort of thing. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We haven't seen the Broncos in the finals for like 4 years, so we don't even know how they're going to react. So they could go to another gear. We don't know. They could just get better. We really don't know. But yeah, interesting game. Now on to the Cows. A lot of people gave me rubbish last week saying because I didn't respect the win they had, and I didn't. But this one was brilliant. This was the first time I saw them look like they did last year for 80 minutes. For 80 minutes. They were so good. Scotty Drinkwater, they were good from the start to finish. Bunnies were terrible, but I'm not making an excuse for the Cowboys because Bunnies, I'm trying to talk the Bunnies up. I'm trying to make it not sound like I'm taking anything away from the Cowboys. Bunnies' defense was really good, and Cowboys were troubling it the whole time. Now their offense was putrid, and that's why they only scored 6 points. But they scored 31 points against pretty good defense. All their defensive structures are in here. Scotty Drinkwater, finally a full 80-minute performance. Like, this is what he was like last year. Like, he was like, every time he got the ball, you're like, this year, up until, I mean, look, he scored the try to win the game, but last week, which was brilliant, but just up until say that point, there wasn't a single time where I was like, oh, Scotty's on. You know what I mean? I've just been so let down. And and last week there was little moments of it, but this game here, like, it was like last year. Every time he got the ball, something looked like it might happen, and it was so good to watch. He was literally one of my favourite players to watch last year. He was so good, and this was the first time from start to finish. Every time he touched the ball, I was like, oh, he's on. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. Look, again, one of the worst games I've ever seen Cody Walker play in offense. He was just awful. And when I knew he was pissed off, he was getting a little fired up at the start, pushing and shoving and stuff like that. But then there was a moment, I think it was early in the second half, where he got slapped across the top of his head, and he's like, and he didn't. I'm like, oh, he's given up, because Cody don't take rubbish like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does not take rubbish like that. For him to get slapped across the head, and he's like, oh. I was like, he's defeated, and I was like, Cowboys are going to go on with this. Like, he's dead set giving up, sort of thing. But yeah, look, just yeah, Cameron Murray had one of the worst games I've seen him play in offense. I'm only talking about offense here. I thought they all defended pretty well. Lachlan Ilias, offense was terrible. Campbell Graham didn't quite look like himself either. But yeah, they've got some problems, man. Like, they're down to 8th now. They're down to 8th. With the Cowboys shooting up, so there's essentially a 4-point swing to the Cowboys there. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't get their 2 points, and Cowboys got 2. So better watch out. Like I said, this is hurting the Cowboys a little bit. That for and against. If they do push up into here, they just need another real solid win. Like, that was a pretty solid win. So they took almost 24 odd points off their minus, but they're still pretty minus. And I mean, jeez, don't the Raiders need a big win? Jesus Christ. Pretty damn. But no, it was great. So Scotty, I'll give that performance a 10. I don't give 10s very much. Let's have a look. So how do you go? Oh, look at these numbers, man. Scotty Drinkwater, 216 metres, 56 post contact. Oh, sorry. 32 post contact, 2 line breaks, 1 line break assist, 3 try assists, 11 tackle breaks. It's ridiculous, man. That was insane. What a performance. You guys let me know too. I heard that Felt was healthy for this game, but they picked this Velemy. Anyway, the semi-trailer. I love it. This dude's a monster. I've never... Felt for me is just like... I don't know. Yeah, he's named in the team. This kid is looking like the real deal for me. Felt's one of those guys, right? He'll play awful, and then he'll do the most spectacular thing you've ever seen. Like do a try where he's diving in and he's over his head, and it's just like, you're like, what the hell? And you sort of forget how shit he was through the game. And don't get me wrong, he's had brilliant games too, but I feel like he'll have a stinker, and then like 33% of his games are stinkers. The next 33% are stinkers, but he did something spectacular in it, so you forget it's a stinker. And then 33% of his games, he's brilliant. This kid looks for real, man. Like he was damn good, man. But yeah, where is he, Velemy? His numbers aren't spectacular, but they were strong carries, like 156 metres. I mean, it's solid, but there you go, 55% of them were post-contact. That's what I thought. They looked like really strong runs. So that means 33% of his metres gained, he had blokes hanging off him. He was good. He was better than his numbers suggest, sort of thing. Peter Hiku had a great game. I've been riding him lately. He's been awful. Val Holmes, brilliant. Tuolangi, he just found a new gear, been brilliant. Halves, not bad. They did their jobs. It wasn't like spectacular performances from them or anything. McLean doing his job. Hess was great, especially his second stint. Robson, great. Granville, I'm not too sure what happened. I thought, if anyone can tell me what happened to Talmalolo, but yeah, he wasn't playing. I thought he was playing. But anyway, I just ran out and I was like, who the hell's out in 13? Bloody Granville's out there again. Granville the GOAT. This should be interesting. Let's have a quick look at the stats. 58% of the ball for the Cowboys. That'll get it done. 84% completion rate against 67. Again, Cowboys ran for over 2,000 metres. Damn, haven't seen that in a while. Post-contact, nearly 700. That's ridiculous. 41 tackle breaks. Average set distance, 48. Absolutely brilliant. God damn. That's some quick play the ball speed for the Bunnies. 3 seconds. Wow. Actually, to be honest, Taft was playing the ball. Taft was playing the ball. So he hit the ball up, bang, hit the ground. He's playing the ball before the markers even like half square. It was damn brilliant. But yeah, really, really disappointing. Both tackled okay, but yeah, it was missed tackles 24. You're good there. And Knights only 7 errors. Brilliant. Really, really good performance for the Cowboys. These are the best numbers. This is the best. That was the best performance I've seen from some of the individuals. It was some of the best team performances I've seen, and this is their best numbers of the year. 2,000 metres, 600 post-contact, 41 tackle breaks, set distance of nearly 50, decent play the ball speed, tackle efficiency super high. This is Cowboys' best. And I said this is the game to see. This was their measure and stick game, and this is why I haven't given them any. I didn't take 2 into consideration last week, but this was very encouraging. This was very, very encouraging. So looking the goods, looking very, very good. Cowboys poised for a big, big run home, and they're gonna need it. They're gonna need it. Roosters Raiders, man. If I was a Raiders fan, I'd be so pissed off. Can you just win a game comfortably for once? Like, I remember at the start of the year, Parramatta was like just losing and just winning games. But like, at least they started winning. Like, come on, Raiders, what are you doing to your fans, man? You winning 18-0. Man, they're almost guarantee Raiders, if you support the Raiders closely, you've got a receding hairline. Like, you need a hair transplant, man. Off to Turkey you go, because Jesus Christ, they're I mean, I don't even go for them, but I thought that, I've tipped them to go the top 8, so I sort of wanted to make the top 8. And even I'm like, what the hell? What are you doing? Like, come on, man. They're a tough team to follow. I mean, look, the Roosters are cooked, man. They're cooked. They got, like I said, Raiders weren't great in this, and they were just really let them back in. Terrible. Some of the game management from Jackie White was putrid, and I mean, I was really rough on people bagging Teddy. And then I can't remember who said it. Maybe it was Cooper Cronk or someone. They're like, trust me, he's not playing horrible, but he is down on form. And he just is. He just is. I don't like bagging the guy. And I'm not like everyone in the comments of, like Origin, he's rubbish, he's trash, he's not that. But he is 100% down on form. I think this is the first year where you'd probably say James Tedesco isn't in the top 5 fullbacks in the game. Like right now, some of those mediocre guys are playing better. Like I'd say Gutho's 100% playing better. I'd say Will Kennedy's probably playing better. Scotty Drinkwater, well, no, actually, you can't say that because he's only really had a couple good games. But there is at least 5 fullbacks playing much better rugby league than Nickel Coolstad from the Warriors is playing way better than Tedesco is. And I think this is the first time we can say that without a doubt, he is not in the top 5 fullbacks in the game. He's probably closer to the 10th. He's way down. And I this is coming from a huge James Tedesco fan. He's way down on form. There was a play right at the end where they were down by 2. The halfback, what's his name again? Sandon Smith gets half through the line, hooks the ball. Teddy's pretty much got, not open, he sort of had to beat the fullback. Pass the ball in. Teddy's looking, and then he goes to catch the ball and just drops it cold. I'm like, Teddy last year back would not have done that. Teddy would have caught that, beat the fullback, stood the fullback up and scored a try and won the game. It is bad. Tupou was pretty decent. He had some solid metres, 215, 73 post-contact, 2 tackle breaks, always solid. Joey Manu, he was electric. He got him back in the game single-handedly pretty much, couple tries. He didn't get the ball in the first half. And they were just getting pumped. And then he got the ball in the second half and they score 18 points. It's just, I don't know, man. Trent Robinson, I don't know. Some of his game planning this year has just been so bad. Like, can someone please show him highlights of Suaalii on the wing last year? Like, Suaalii put a highlight reel in his rookie year last year, better than most people's careers. He did. And then he moves into centre, where he clearly hasn't been thriving. I know he hasn't been playing the last few weeks. And then Joey Manu, without a doubt, he's either a centre or a fullback. You put him at 6, you move him, I just don't get some of these plays he's been doing. It's just, I mean, far be it me to say that Trent Robinson doesn't know what he's doing, but Jesus Christ, like, it just seems like some real fundamental errors. And even Angus Crichton into the starting lineup here, I mean, I love him. He's literally been one of my favourite players for such a long time, but he's clearly down on form. He's, like, I'd say this with all due respect, I don't think Angus Crichton's NRL quality, like, up to the NRL standard right now. I genuinely think he needs to go back and play some cup. He's way off, and it's so hard to say because he literally played in the Australian team last year in the World Cup winning team and was great. But whatever happened to him in the off-seasons clearly messed him up a bit, and he's way, way off, man. I actually thought Nathan Brown came on and had some good minutes. He looked sharp through the middle. Let's have a look at the Raiders real quick. I just have to give... Jesus, I don't even know who did that. I have to give this guy here a rap, Sebastian Chris. For a guy that had never played fullback before... All right, put it this way. Sebastian Chris has been better than James Tedesco this year. Straight up. His numbers are better. He's been more electric. He's scored more tries. He looks more threatening when he has the ball. He's running for more metres. He's been brilliant. I have to give him a massive rap. I watched the first game because Savage went down early. It might have been pre-season. And I watched the first game he played and he didn't look very good at fullback. And he's just adapted and just got better and better and better. He's a really good fullback now. He's just earned himself a whole bunch of extra money now because he's a genuinely good fullback. So if he stays in at fullback, his next contract's going to be a massive upgrade because fullbacks get paid more than wingers. Or if another club wants to poach him as their fullback, he obviously can get a big contract there too. So Sebastian Chris has just earned himself another $250K a year pretty much just through this season. So good on you. You can buy yourself a nice AMG Mercedes for that, brother. Good on you. You're on. But yeah, look at these meters. 225, 77 post contact, 1 line break assist, 1 try assist, 2 tackle breaks. Absolutely brilliant. Hopewadi, again, getting his hands dirty. 231 metres, 72 post contact, 3 tackle breaks. Hopewadi's such a beast, that dude. And yeah, it was bad news for Papali. He did his hammy about 10 minutes in. So not good for him, and not good for the Canberra Raiders either. But yeah, one thing I was really impressed about with Canberra in the first half, their first contact, bang! There was like 0 post contact meters on offer for the Roosters, who are a big post contact meter team. Their first contact, Young, Elliot Whitehead, Horsburgh, Tarpany, Papali'i when he was on there, even Zach Wolford, they were just whacking, like not shots, but just bang, and then they're on the ground. It was real. I was really impressed with their first contact. Actually, pretty interested to see what the stats look like, because to the naked eye, it looks like, I'm sure there was plenty of post contact in the second half, but in the first half, there definitely wasn't. Look at that completion rate, 87% for the Raiders. That'll get it done. A few silly errors from the Roosters. Here we go. Where are we? Well, they won the post contact, but not by plenty. 531 for the Raiders, 437 for the Roosters. But yeah, it was a relatively even game. I mean, if we're looking at the stats, I mean, yeah, it was 2 line breaks apiece. I mean, Jesus. Well, there you go. I mean, 18 tackle breaks for the Roosters to 35 for the Raiders. So I felt like it was like that. They were just getting wrapped up, put on their back really quickly, especially in the first half. I dare say 18 of these tackle breaks from the second half. Average set distance, plenty more by the Raiders, 44 to 38. Play the ball speeds, about the same. Offloads, 20. They'll offload in at will. So 20 offloads with the 87% completion rate. Bang on. Good work, lads. What else we got here? Tackle efficiency. Look at that. 91%. How good. How good. Missed tackles, 19. That's great. Absolutely great. 6 errors. There you go. That's a real good... So even though they faded and just won the game, on paper, it's like Ricky will look at these numbers and be like, nice. You know, we just probably didn't execute some of our offenses we should have, you know, sort of thing. So you can take some positives out of that for sure. The Raiders can. I don't know if the Roosters can. I don't know what they do. Normally I can be like, oh yeah, like they can do this, they'll fix that and blah, blah, blah. But it's just, every week it seems to be something different wrong with them. It's really hard to sort of, really hard to gauge what they should do to fix it, sort of thing. So that's it for the games, lads. Now let's have a quick look at next week. See how we go. We're getting spicy now, so round 18. So after this, there'll only be, 8 more games, sort of thing. Most teams with buys and stuff will only have probably 8 more games. So we have Sharkies versus Dragons. Ooh, Sharkies can boost up their for and against here pretty juicily. With any luck, they could get that over 100. Jesus, Parramatta's for and against, great, isn't it? 132. I mean, they've got a better for and against than the Broncos and the Storm. It's bloody nuts. So yeah, that's Sharks will want to win this well, sort of thing. Because that same Ben Hunt's not going to be playing. They've been struggling with Ben Hunt, and he's been their best player. So we got the Warriors versus the Rabbitohs. This is a big one. This is a big game. Warriors win this, they could, you know, push into the top 8 possibly, top 4 possibly. You know, and just even if they don't, you know, really secure that 5th spot up. At least that's a home final for them. Rabbitohs, I mean, look, they'll, you know, the Cowboys are here. They got the Tigers. I mean, if Cowboys win and Bunnies lose this, you might be out of the 8, bro. You might be out of the 8. Storm Panthers, damn. God damn. I mean, Panthers will have most of their guns back. They won't have Cleary back, obviously. But damn, that should be a good one. And that'll be for top spot, essentially. Because they're both all on 24 points. So yeah, whoever wins this will be moved to the top. Unless Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they will. Okay, where else? Where were we? Where are we? Oh, yeah, here. So, yeah, big game. Yeah, Titans are going to want to get this one, and Raiders really solidify their spot. So, huge game here. This is what I love this time of year. It starts to get spicy. Game's starting to really matter, you know what I'm saying? And, even the Tigers don't want to be spooners, man. They really don't want to be spooners, and they're going to be throwing everything at them this year. So, up in Townsville, that's going to be a real good game. We've got the Broncos versus Dolphins at the Gabba. Another big one. Broncos just had a loss. Dolphins just had a few. Dolphins, obviously, if they want to make the 8, they've got to get a dub. They can't lose 4 in a row. And then we've got some Battle of the Spoon games. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, obviously, you don't want to lose these games either because you obviously... Well, I don't think either of these teams will play finals anyway, but you still don't lose them. And then we've got Seagulls, Roosters, and these are now must-win games for both these teams. So more than likely we can cross one of these teams off, make it finals next week as well. I dare say, just because, like I said, these teams are just all winning games, you know. So I mean, if you're down here and you're dropping games still, you're cooked. And Parramatta with the bye, so Parramatta will jump up 2 points automatically, up into 22, and probably 28 points normally gets you into the final. So they'll be up to 22. So maybe 3 wins away from locking up a spot, 3 or 4 wins away from locking up a spot. You probably need, with the extra buys this year, you might need an extra 2 points. So you might need 30, 32, around that sort of mark, sort of thing. So, but not too far away. I mean, yeah, like I said, Broncos, Storm and Penrith, 2 wins away. Maybe because they got buys left, probably 2 actual wins and then their buys. We'll probably just about get them in. And then, yeah, Warriors, Para, Raiders, maybe 3, maybe 4 more wins this year. And you guys are all playing finals too. With Sharkies as well. And then there's not many spots left. Damn, absolutely crazy. But yeah, I'll do a full video on probably directly after State of Origin where I'm going to go over everything and winning percentages, add it all up, do some cool stuff to predict the finals and who will be having home finals and all that sort of stuff and who's going to finish where sort of thing, which should be good. I can't wait to do that. I love a spreadsheet. I love predicting things and I love being right too, because I did it last year and was perfect. Nailed it. All right. It's time to go. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.